Hi guys, good morning. I'm Antara and thank you for joining today. We are going to start our live session right now, and I'm going to patch in pretty little bibliophile Nayanika just now. So just hold on. Our day is going on so far really good, and I really wish that you have a very good Sunday. Hey,
Hi,
how are
Antara.
you? Hi,
I'm good.
Nayanika.
How are you?
I'm also good. So,
I
how
see you
has your
put on
past?
some makeup today.
Yes, yes, yes. This is new. This is new Manish Malhotra. I'm not sure if
Oh,
I'm. Yes. So,
you're looking nice.
how
Color
am
suits you.
I? Thank
Yeah,
you so much. So, how was your past week, Nanika?
I slept in it and studied a bit. So you can
You
guess, I
did?
guess. Yeah, how was
Yeah.
yours?
So I have been working and I completed two books, so I'm really happy about it. I can't wait to
That's
share
nice.
offline.
Hmm.
I'll talk about those books with you.
Absolutely.
And yes, that's it. I hope the lockdown gets extended so that we get to stay home
I
and
understand.
get to
Yeah.
read. Yeah, get to read more and
Mm-hmm.
more and
I'm just
do like.
hoping to get some chicken to myself. I'm
Oh
craving
my
chicken.
God. Yes, yes. Fish especially. And also as I think 14th or 15th, 14th and 15th are going to be our Bihu, our new
Yeah,
year. So this time I think it is going to be a very different
very different.
celebration for us. Like
Yes.
generally Bihu has always been any Bihu has always been associated with food and non-veg. I'm sure it's with you
Yeah.
as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
So
then in the evenings we go to all the
visit your
beautiful.
relatives.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bihutol is right. And so this time it might be a bit different. So let's see
Yeah.
how it is. So I want to wish all the friends who have joined us today a very happy and prosperous new year. Our Bihu is going to be on 14th and 15th of April, and I think there are many other similar Sankranti, many other similar celebrations.
Across
So
India.
yes, yes, across India. So yes, so happy New Year, happy Bihu. So Nainika, I wanted to show you if you remember. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about my journal, and I was
Yeah.
like we were discussing about your journal, your bujo, like you prepare such a good journal. So I wanted to show you my favorite journal. It's a
Okay.
handmade one, and uh,
It looks very
like
pretty, the blue with the design.
so this is the only gift that I received this year. This has been given by one of my good friends, and he has made it himself. And the pages are also handmade.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
yeah. So this is one of my journals that I use, and I have one more journal which is something like this. So maybe you can see it has grids
Square
made.
grid.
So I
Hmm.
right. So I use this for my daily notes, note keepings, and everything. And my pens, I am a Uniball. Thank God these are not Chinese, Japanese. So I'm a Uniball person. So yes, gel pens all the way. So I have got like all the colors with me, and I love to use different colors. Like if I'm like one of my
Yeah.
to-do task is done, so I'll just stick with one of the colors. So yes, these are my favorite pens, and of course post-its, right? So
Absolutely.
we cannot go anywhere without post-its. So yes, that's my
Mhm.
stationery. So you want to show your journal that you have been using?
Yes, I have been using the same company's journal for like 2 years in a row now. This is my second one from them. It's from Minora, and
Okay.
this is dot grid though. It's not square grid. I
Mm-hmm.
have used, like you can see there are dots only. So I
Yes,
have
right.
used another. journal before, which was from Amazon, and there they have the square grids. So that was also nice, but then I wanted to get some to take a different one, so get a bit of change. So I decided to buy this Menora journal with the dot grid ones, and then I really like it so much. There is you get much more flexibility with the dot grids. So
Right,
then
right,
I
right.
finished one journal and then bought the second one, and this is my second one. As for my stationery, I am not that particular. I generally have sort of like a theme color for each month. So this time for April, my theme colors are basically purple and black, like this. So right now I'm just using either the purple sketch pen or the black sketch pen. So I'm just using either of them basically.
Yes,
And
sketch pens and markers. Yes,
yes,
very important.
and definitely. And in India, like you all know, I guess, the midliners and everything, they're just so costly. Tombow pens and all of that. So I use normal sketch pens and yeah, and the black ball pen and the blue ball pen. And sometimes when I want to put in some design and all, like for instance, I wrote this word here, excellence. I used a particular pen. This is the Zig pen, like sketch pen, but it's
Okay,
golden, and you can
okay.
use it to write on different
On
not platforms.
surfaces,
Yeah, right, surfaces. So I basically use this to like add a bit of color, a bit of
glitter.
glitter
Yeah,
to this page because otherwise it's completely
right.
black. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I used to like make really elaborate designs sometimes, but then now you hardly get the time when college started and all. And this week, like when I was making the spread for April, I was like, hey, I'll do something. I'm feeling so lazy. So that was how my
Something
April,
shortcut, something,
yeah, shortcut.
nothing elaborate.
Hmm.
So yes, so we have many friends who have joined us right now, and I would like to say that today I think we are going to discuss about love stories and romance genre. Nanika has a book which follows this genre. I have a book as well as a guest um, who writes romance, and my book is also based on romance. So, yes, so let's talk about love, even though it's month of April and it's spring, but I think spring, any month is a month of love, right? And
Yeah.
spring is, I think it's a beautiful month to start with love stories. Yeah, so over to you, Nainika. Which book you have today to share with us?
I am actually going to be sharing a classic which I think everybody has heard of, and if not heard, like everybody has read or watched the movie or they've heard of it, and it is the classic Pride and Prejudice.
Wow, it's such a
So
pretty.
this, yes, I
It's a
have like another
hardcover
copy,
and
and
it's
this one
really
is a,
pretty.
yeah, and this is a
Wow.
fingerprint classics edition, and it was on sale for like 300, I think, on Amazon. So it's like 300 is a really good deal for like gilt
It's
edges
it's
and
yes,
all of this.
Gilded Edges. I was just about to go to that. Golden gilded edges,
Yeah, and
pink
it's
cover hard.
glitter.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so
Beautiful.
this
It's a very beautiful cover, beautiful edition
I am
of
so
Pride and
proud
Prejudice.
of this. That's fun. And there is this ribbon also which really helps to like mark the page and all of that. So I think
Right.
everybody knows about this story. Basically, we have a family, the Bennett family with the five daughters, and then a new neighbor comes in, his friend comes in, and basically, okay. See, whenever we have friends over, we are so afraid that our parents will embarrass themselves. You get me?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Our
Like
dads with their
the
lame jokes.
time that the window is very limited, like our friends entering and meeting our parents and then coming over to our
Hey, chalo,
room, the
chalo, chalo,
window
chalo.
is very
Ha.
limited. Like no, not much interaction. Right, exactly. I
Absolutely.
get that.
And I think in their family, the mom and like the youngest daughter, they are the epitome of that embarrassment. They're just so, like, they say such things in public that you wouldn't, like, you'll be like, oh, what did they just say? What did they just do? Very cringeworthy. But overall, I think that this is a really nice romance. It's a classic, of course. And the way it comes together. That's like really amazing.
Great. Also, I think romance has got like it's a very broad topic, right? Like there
I
can be
get you.
many situations, there can be many
Mhm.
plots under uh, the huge umbrella of romance. It can be, you know, just like you had mentioned yesterday, it can be a fake marriage, it can be
Mhm.
a marriage and an extramarital affair, or a, crush on your senior, crush on your boss, office affair, or maybe uh,
Enemies
dominating
to lovers
LGBT.
sometimes.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, absolutely. Or maybe a
There
love
are various
triangle.
types. Yeah,
Yes. Or so I think everyone enjoys reading romance. Like it's the most comforting genre.
I
Um,
agree.
so people tend to buy a romance book more often. But then
Hmm.
again, under romance, I think people has got their like own preferences. Like for example, my preference or my trope would be would be a situation similar to Kuch Kuch Hota Hai or My Best Friend's Wedding, right? Where
I
I
get you. Friends to lovers.
Yes, yes, yes. Friends, best friends to lovers. Like where I have the girl or one of the best friends realizes very early on that she or he is in love, whereas the other best friend takes time. So for me, this kind of like I enjoy this kind of plots. Like for me, when like I read a lot of like my this shelf is full of
Mm-hmm.
romance and by budding authors, and I have read almost all, different plots, but I think this is one plot that I really enjoy. What is the is there any preference, like do you have any preference, preferred
Hmm. Like most of the
plot?
romances that I read are basically Mills and Boons, most of them. And one thing that I really like is the marriage of convenience or the like fake marriage or fake relationship trope. And I just think it's so amazing. And I used to like love triangles like when I was younger, but now it's like it's too messy. And it's always the girl having two boys, and look at us still single.
That's true, that's true.
So, but yeah, I really like the marriage of convenience and the fake relationship trope, and like they start to
similar to
develop feelings.
Similar to maybe a Pretty Woman kind of a concept where um,
Sort of,
you
yes.
know
Hmm.
right? So the guy and the girl gets into sign kind of a contract that will be showing off that we are in a relationship or we are married, but because of this. So yes, I get it. Yes, every form or every plot um, under romance, be it a poetry or be it a story, has got its own charm. I think
Yes,
every each
absolutely.
one of us has fallen in love. We have experienced heartbreak. We know we have gone back to Dugbari, all the sad songs and everything. And
Devdas.
yes, absolutely. So I think we can all relate, and that is why maybe romance is the most selling uh, genre these days.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
there are so many friends who have joined right now. I would like to know from you guys which plot or anything about romance. Like, is there any plot or any trope that
You guys
attracts you the
enjoy?
most? Yeah, any recent romance that you have been reading? Why do you think romance is such a hit or a best-selling genre? Anything? This is the time. Or if you want to share about your stationery, about your anything about you. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you before, so I'm just asking you. So if you have anything to share with us right now, you can leave a comment. Me and Nayanika are going to chat about some more about poem and romance and love stories, and then we will come back to you. Meanwhile, Nayanika, I'm going to say hi to all the friends that has joined. uh, so there is Being Book Connoisseur, hi, and then we have Charm with Books. We
Hi
have
everyone, thanks for joining.
we have author Piyush Rohankar who has joined us. Hi Piyush, how are you? We have non-conformist INR. Hello there. We have book lover Prabal. Hi Prabal. Karishma Abdullah.
Hi,
We
Daisy.
we
Daisy's my
have,
friend.
oh, you know. So, and then Bina Pillai, she is an author. We have Rajiv Patel, I think. Rajiv Patel, hi. Hi, Rajiv. Daisy Chaudhary, your friend has joined. Salt and Pepper Reviews. Pranjal Tiwari, Sandeep writes. Hi, Sandeep. Then we have Zeenab. Hey, guys, if I'm missing out someone, please don't mind. I'll come back to you soon. If you have any question or if you want to share anything about romance genre, this is the moment you need to leave comment right now. We are talking about love stories, romance, and the topic that we like under the huge umbrella of romance. Later today, in some time, we will have a very talented author, romance author, whose debut novel has done really well. And so we will have him as well. I'm not going to share his name as of yet, but you have 5 minutes
It's a
if you
surprise
want to
for us.
share. Oh my God, yes. It's a surprise. So there are not much comments. So yes, so I think I'll come back to the book that I want to talk about today. Since we are
Mm-hmm.
talking about romance, Nayanika, so I picked up a book which I think is doing really like I have been visiting many literature festivals lately, and I have seen this book doing really well. This book has been visiting many literature festivals, and it's a romance, and it's not like run of the mill romance, but then this is something which will touch you, and which will, I'm sure, which will connect with each one of us, and it's A Drop of You. I'm sorry, it's the mirrored image. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out my camera settings. So it's A Drop of You by Krishna Chhetri. And the good thing about this book is it's published by Kunog Publishers, and the pages are FSC pages, so you know how important FSC pages are. We care about the environment. So yes, this pages, like we have been asking people to read more and more of ebooks, but then
Mm-hmm.
yes, pages which are FSC certified, like it's more than welcome. So this book is A Drop of You by Krishna Chhetri, and it talks about it's one of I have not read it, but I think that I will enjoy it because it's a love triangle. It seems it's a
Okay.
character. There are three characters, and how the life uh, like makes them meet each other, and then what happens and everything. So I'm more keen to hear about this book from Krishna because I have not read it, and uh, as you are aware, I'm very choosy about picking my reads, right? So I need to be convinced. I want to be convinced, like why I should be reading this book and why this book is different from any other, um, romance books which are available nowadays. So it seems like every other person is writing romance. Is it because the authors think that romance is the best-selling genre? Is it because of that, or is it because they connect, or they feel like it's the easiest emotion to express? So I'm really interested to hear
Mm-hmm.
what Krishna has to say, but
Yeah.
I think um, before that, do you have a game for us? Like, for our viewers to play like the last time you made them play, so that we can give them some discount coupons or some gift at the end of the session today?
All right, what can we do today? So perhaps share romance books from your bookshelf, which are by, shall we say, Indian writers?
All right. So, Nayanika, once you are my friends who are watching us right now, my friends and Nayanika's friends who are watching us right now, Nayanika wants you to leave a comment with the names of the books which you have read, are based on the genre of romance and written by Indian
Indian
writers
writers.
or
Yeah.
authors. So you have time, like almost 20 minutes. Think about it, leave a comment. Whoever does that will receive a gift
10%
towards the
off.
end of the session. Wow, yes. And I'm so happy. Like, yes. So my workroom has been converted to an inventory house,
Packaging
inventory room.
facility.
Yes. So I have almost like 700 books lying in my workroom, and you can only see this space which has been cleared out, and rest is like
Mess.
so, not mess, but properly I have categorized them and everything. So I think I can't wait, because people are purchasing books online from our online
Mhm.
bookstore, but I'm unable to ship them. So I can't
Yeah,
wait
this
for
time.
the lockdown to get over so that I can ship them out. So yes, guys, I'm going to patch up the author. His name is Krishna Chhetri. Yes, none other than the author of this book. I have said so many nice things about this book, and the fact that this book uh, um, uh, is an FSC printed, and the fact that Krishna himself is a very down to earth and very humble person. So I think it is going to be a very great session
Mhm.
today. We will talk, and he's a die-hard romantic person. Like, उनके मतलब खून खून पे रोमांस है, मतलब you stay tuned and you will see like he is going to be a blast, and we are going to talk about more of love and more of romance and why this genre and everything. And my friends who are watching us, you need to share a name of a book that you have read from this genre, so that we can give out the gifts, which are the discount coupons. So, Nanika,
All right
um,
then. I'll see you soon.
yes, yes,
Bye
absolutely. Stay
bye.
around.
Absolutely, I'll
Um,
be watching the live.
yes, absolutely. Stay around, and we will meet soon, very
Yeah.
soon. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. So, friends, I'm going to connect with Krishna now, and I'm going to say hi to everyone. Thank you for joining us, and I'm like, it's like this is a sort of encouragement. So yes, so I'm adding Krishna up now. I hope he is up and awake. Otherwise, I have to. Oh, you are awake. I I thought it's good to see you.
Good morning, good morning.
Sunday morning. Good morning. So you are up. I thought that you might be asleep, or I might have to call you up, but it's
No,
good
no,
to
I
see
just
you.
woke
How
up, so I'm fine. Thank you.
you are,
Yeah.
and how have you been doing this lockdown situation and everything? How have you been coping? Is it like that?
Bored. Yeah.
Bored? Oh, and I think you're writing your next book as well, right?
Yes, correct.
So, so getting bored and writing some of your new stuff. So somewhere in between. And then
Yeah.
Netflix and movies, I suppose.
No, actually, right now I'm not watching any Netflix or anything because that will dilute my writing. So I want to focus on
Wow.
writing. And because the second book has a different feel altogether. So it's more I mean, it has lot many things to offer. So I want to be completely engrossed in it, and I don't want to dilute what I'm writing. So I'm putting all my attention to that right now.
Okay, wow. So many thoughts goes inside an author's mind. We can multitask, but yes, authors cannot. They cannot dilute. Yes, absolutely. So, Krishna, I am talking a lot. I know. So, if you want to say something, just say. I'll go quiet. But I have already showed your book to my viewers, and I have already said that this is such a mm, like I have been visiting many literature festivals, and your book has been going. Uh, like you went to Noida Literature Festival where you
Yeah.
had a reading session, and then also in Rainbow Literature Festival. So this book is doing really well, and like we also spoke about the fact that it's an environmental friendly. Like you have chosen the pages to be FSC certified,
Right.
so that's a very good deal. And yes, so I have not read it, and I am a very
Oh,
choosy. I am a very
oh.
choosy. I'm a very choosy reader,
Mhm.
Krishna. So um, yes, of course, I know this is a love triangle, and it seems like this is one of my like uh, romance has got such a vast subject in itself, right? And there can be so many plots or so many stories that you can weave. So it seems like this is something that I look up to, because like kuch kuch hota hai, or maybe my best friend's wedding, where the friend is falling in love with the other friend. So it seems like this is something that interests me. But then I want to hear it from you, that why someone who is into romance genre should read this book. Like, what is so different about this book compared to any other books which are coming up nowadays? Like, कहीं पे भी जाओ, किसी भी दुकान पे जाओ, you will find one romance book, like my love story, your love story, our love story. So, what is so different about A Drop of You and
Uh, sure.
the other
I
love
feel
stories?
the thing about this book is the writing itself. It is very poetic, and generally you don't find that with the Indian contemporary Indian authors or the writers that are in present writing these. I mean, you don't find it these kind of books that is there because it is very poetic. It's like a medieval English that you will find, and it's more onto a prose which is it octates in a different way. So it is not just romance. It is more about to do with the millennial kids as well. It talks about religion. It talks about God. It talks about society. It talks about what you should not do in a relationship. I mean, there is a learning onto the book. It is not just a book in which you just read romance. That's it. No, it is not. It is up and above. Because I personally feel a book should always teach you a thing or two. That's why I would go ahead
Right.
and pick a book. So my
Yes, absolutely.
objective to write is to make sure that because words are power, and it normally, there's a blast that happens onto your head when you read something very nice and it intrigues you. So it is,
Right,
uh,
exactly.
yeah. So in that way, I have conveyed my message in which I have clearly stated why it is important to communicate in a relationship. How does a relationship can deteriorate? And I also am a believer of karma. So what you do is what you get, right? So in that sense, the book also has the character called karma.
Right, exactly.
And I have symbolized the things in a way, like, for example, there is a symbolism of heart, there is a symbolism of love. Like love does not see, there is no demarcation of love. Love is love, right? If there is A, there is B, there is love. So love would love A and B together. There would not be any disintegration or any,
Individual.
yeah,
Right.
individual, right? But
Mhm.
how the other person takes it, that is different, right? So the
Right.
perspective of that is sketched onto this book that is there. That is why the readers, they are able to connect. And वो कहते हैं ना, दिल तो किसी का टूटा ही होगा कभी ना कभी. Right,
इसीलिए कनेक्ट कर पा रहे
yeah,
हैं.
exactly.
So
So
yes, so you mentioned that you so two things that I want to say that yes, I was able to go through browse through your book. I have not read it fully, but I have been able to. And yes, you mentioned that you have composed the content in such a manner that the prose flows into poetry or poems, and the poems flows into prose. And so yes, so there and it like in like you can see, I'm just showing to my viewers, my friends who have so you can see that there are like whenever there is a conversation happening between two characters in this book, so it takes a form of a poetry, and Krishna has tried to express what that particular character might be going through, and it is not only related to relationship but also um, um, relationship, love relationship, but his the character's relationship around the world, like how the world is perceiving it. So he has expressed it in a very beautiful manner, and correct me if I go somewhere wrong, Krishna. And I think, yes, Karma, Ghazal, and there is one more, Diana. So three characters. So what happens? Like, is it a love triangle? Like, am I correct? Like,
yes, it is a
is
love
it a love?
triangle.
Is it a so already like you have sold the book to me? Like, I'm like, okay, it's okay. So this is a love triangle. So okay, I'm happy to read it. But is it someone who doesn't read romance like Nayanika? I don't know whether you have watched Nayanika. So it's my other partner Nayanika, and I do this sessions every
Okay.
Sunday. So Nayanika is more into fantasy. She is not much into. She is a young kid, so she needs time to get into that genre. But then anyone kind of Nayanika who is not much into this genre, why should that person pick up? Is it on? Is it your answer remains the same, that you have tried to add value uh, to the reader's perspective, or there is something more that a reader who has not read romance or who doesn't prefer reading romance can take apart from whatever you have already said?
See, it is more the way it is written. Like, for example, I believe that poems, they speak in volumes, and no matter who the person is, whoever it is, they would read poetry because the kind of emotion a poetry can generate, nothing can do. Prose does not do that. So the poems that I have written, I have selectively chosen those kind of things which would, just put or write, it's just like a needle that'll just go right inside your heart. So the
Okay.
poems are more to do, not only, there are very cliche romantic poems, there are poems that bring in a very profound what do you call emotion out. So there is an
Emotions out.
out
Yeah.
yes, there is an outburst of emotion with a content which would any person would be able to relate. um,
Okay.
uh, it is heavily based on emotion, and emotion is a thing that we can't separate ourselves. It is like a body and a soul, right? So
Okay.
if you are human, you will read it because there is emotion, there is aspects, and there is so many things that this book would journey through. Like for example, I have lot many followers who are just college going kids. There was one of the guy, he just messaged me, DM'd me, and saying that, sir, the kind of thought process that you have for God and religion was very nice. I was able to, like for example, there is a talk about society as well, in which how defunct or dysfunctional the society is. Yet it is about a character who have gone beyond society. They're onto a live-in relationship, which it is not frowned upon, right? And there are things like
Right.
where we talk about different kind of religion, like Karma is a Christian, and then we have Ghazal, who is a Kashmiri. So there are mixed match of religion and everything that is there, and how it just takes a shape. and how we have one of the person, we always have that one person which we always fall back on, the close
Right, right, right. Yes.
relationship that is there. So
Yes,
that person
absolutely.
symbolizes Diana, which every
Okay.
person would have in their life, right? And
Okay.
the strong person that would come out and do the test of times that is there. So it is kind of a friendship, it is kind of love, it is romance, and the things like that. So I think it will, because the book would is written in such a way that it'll connect at a very cliche level. If you go deep down, it has a lot of ruminations, so it will connect at a philosophical level as well. So the way, because I've written it for all kind of people that is there. It is like a teenage who would
The
read, they will be like,
takers.
yes. Teenage would be like, हाँ ठीक है, love story है, ठीक है, चल जाएगा. Then if they
Samajh
are
mein
like,
aaya.
like mid readers who are like, no, I want some content. For them as well, it is there, and there is a lot of philosophical aspects as well. So this is a book which talks about love in form of a philosophical way as well. So there might be questions that a person would have, like, why should I love somebody, just like that. So it answers, and there are a lot many answers that you will get reading this book. So I had one of she just it was actually one of my friend. He had given the book to her because she was very confused in life. Should I go with that relationship or not? And later she messaged me saying that, thank you, Krishna. You are able to save my relationship, and I was now I know what it means. I got the answer that is there. So I was like, wow. I mean, if I am able to change one life, I think I've done a good job. So I'm happy with
Yes,
that. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure that you have touched upon many lives, like your book has done that.
Yes.
Because you have almost like more than 200 reviews you have received. So it's a commendable achievement.
Mhm.
So I think people are enjoying this book. But I'm more curious to know, is this book based upon any real incident? The story is from your life or from your friend's life or something like that.
Like they say, authors are the biggest thieves in this world. So yes, I
Chori
have
ka
stolen
male.
chori kamale. So my friends, like there are a few of my friends, and it's like one story from one of my friend, one story from one of my friend, some of my
Okay.
personal experience as well. So all got mix onto a pot and then bring it up. So that's about
And
it.
how does this come in your mind? Like, yes, I know that you prefer reading romance and you are a hardcore poetry person. But how did it come to your mind that yes, this story, I can build a story based on this incident or based on this character? How did it came into your mind?
I mean, it was more of a hard work actually. Initially, I had no idea what to do, how to go about. I was like clueless. I mean, didn't know a thing about it. But then there was one article that I read. I mean, I'm talking about at a very initial phase that is there. There
Initial
was an
starting
art,
stage. Okay.
yeah, there was an article that I read onto the internet, and it said that if you can read your book 3 times, that means you have done a good job. If you cannot read it, then it's a horrible job that you have done. So then she had written that you need to keep on writing, no matter what it is, don't stop. So what I did was I kept on writing. I mean, I wrote more than 1,50,000 words. So I kept
My
on writing,
God.
writing, 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 writing. I didn't stop. Then I had, like I had the draft version that is there. After the draft version, then I wanted to bring some meaning to it because initially there was no correlation and like actually most of the things are like very life oriented. For example, when I was writing, there was one a person who takes my clothes to wash. So I just talked to him and he said कि आप लिख रहे हो? मैंने कहा हाँ मैं लिख रहा हूँ. तो कहते कि किताब का मतलब क्या होगा उसमें? I mean, what is the learning for me? That thought struck me, and I was like, yeah, a book should teach you something. Then I started to construct things in that way. So I am a person who believes that, every person, every individual that you meet would teach you something. Whether it is a security guard, whether it's a sabji wala, or whatever it is, there is learning everywhere, and that is beautiful.
Absolutely.
So I was able to, then I started observing people, understanding their psyche, not describing them as such, but just getting the content out of it. As I told you, we are thieves. So stealing out of it
Yes, yes, yes.
and then building it. Then I was like, okay, there has to be something. And the thing that is, after thriller, what works? It is romance. Right.
Right.
So we all like romance. I mean, अंदर से तो romance होना चाहिए type होता है ना. So
सबका, हाँ.
we all have that. So in that context, I just build that thing, and I started writing, and I was able to complete it. So it is more of the hard work, and you have to be very disciplined. And if you're not disciplined, you can't complete and you can't write.
Complete.
So
Yes.
you have to be true to yourself and just finish
Committed.
what you have started. Yeah, committed.
Right. Okay. Great. So, I am going to ask my friends who are watching us right now. If you want
Mhm.
to ask anything to Krishna, this is the time. He is a very busy person. He has taken out only 15 minutes from his busy schedule, like he is writing his next book. But if you have any questions, do leave in the comments. I'll read it out to him. But I would love to hear you recite something, like maybe something, anything you have written recently, or maybe from the point, like from the book, any of the poems. Would you like to read
Uh,
something?
yeah, sure. Do you want me to read from do you want the new content, or do you want from the old book itself?
It's up to you. Like, I don't, I
Uh,
think new would be more better. Like, you will have it will be sort of a better reading for you. Like, so why not?
okay, let me get.
That's a lovely ceiling, by the way, you have got.
Thank you. Okay,
So
there is
meanwhile,
yeah,
yes.
there is a
So
poetry
I'm
that I had
okay.
written.
Okay.
It's called. It's from I mean, the book that I'm writing. Okay, not from the old one.
The previous
Uh,
one. Okay.
yeah, the one that is due to come. I mean, I'm planning to complete it. So this is called One Shed the More. Okay, it's a poetry. It's called One Shed the More. Evening has so many stories. The mighty sun cools and sets beyond the horizon. The night is yet to begin, and the in between time is so calm. Anything that begins comes to an end. Reality is what it shows. Like death, it is truth. One shed the more, and many heart gets broken. Puling increases by every inching silence. The lost one, before losing themselves into darkness, enjoy the last color. Walking hand in hand, they begin to disappear. Though the night is still young, one shed the more, it gets darker. Love too is light at this hour, beautifully pleasant, with a tinge of pain. But when the night gets older, it begins to shed its color. One shed the more, the darker the evening gets. More painful the heart becomes, all souls rise. The broken gets broken further. The ghastly effect the night has, one shed the more, the darker I become. Thank
That's really great. I'm sure you are going to refine it further, and this is the first draft, and then
you.
there are more editing going to come. But then
Right.
one line that I really liked is the broken gets broken further. And I think you need to be a little bit broken in order to let the light enter you.
Right.
So I think this, like, it sounds really nice. The poem was really great, and you are doing so good.
Thank you.
Um, I have a last question.
Mhm.
um, is there any favorite genre, like apart from romance, is there any other favorite genre that you prefer reading when you are not? I know that right now, currently, you are just concentrating on writing and you don't want to dilute. But then, whenever you are taking a break from writing, is there any genre apart from romance that you like to divulge in?
Yes, yes, yes. I am a fan of modern literature. I mean, I don't read. except Tagore and Munshi Premchand. I have not read most of the Indian authors that is there, but I am a fan of absurdism. So I read a lot
Okay.
of Albert Camus's work, Kafka,
Okay.
and I am a diehard fan of Rumi, and I love Gibran as well. But most of the time, I'll be either reading Oscar Wilde or I'll be reading a lot of Camus's work. I think I've completed his 4 or 5 books. I think 3 more books, and I'll be done with all of his work. So, yeah, absurdism, nihilism, existentialism is what I read a
Existential.
lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen your post on Instagram. I follow you,
Mm,
so mm, like I have seen you quoting Rumi and Gibral. So
yeah.
I know that you read them a lot. There is one of my friends, and she's asking your favorite author or any book that inspired you, and her name is Kavya.
Not as an inspiration, but I think the book that I find very inspiring is The Prophet by Gibran. It's a must read. Any soul that is living in this planet should read that book. It is very beautiful. Every question that you have in life, whether it is a thing to do with marriage, whether it is a thing to do with child, love, it personifies and displays the answer in a very beautiful way. It's a
Beautiful.
must read. I mean, you should read that. It'll actually, it'll give you a very good feel to your heart, and you will feel like it's nice,
कुछ
So
पढ़ा है
कुछ
मतलब.
पढ़ा है,
हाँ.
and you
हाँ.
have gained some knowledge out of it. Because I believe that, I mean, most of them, they don't like philosophy at times, but I like philosophical reads, and I like the things that is, intriguing to the mind. So like Gibran is very soft. He's like silk, he just flows through it. So it's beautiful. So if you want to read The Prophet by Gibran. It's a beautiful book.
Okay. All right.
And the other book that I can suggest is, I mean, most of the times I'm reading like poetries and Rumi. I mean, I read a lot of Rumi. So yeah, other books you can read would be of Oscar Wilde. The Picture of Dorian Gray is a
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book of Oscar Wilde. It is amazing. You should, I mean, one should read it. It talks about the about life. It talks about how, because Oscar Wilde was a person who always believed on the outer beauty of life. Like
Yes, I
Rumi,
think this story is about this lady, the gray lady who fell in love with her outer appearance. Like she found herself to be so beautiful that she started. Is it something like that? And she was
no,
not
no, no.
aging
It's
or
about a
something like that.
portrait. It's about a portrait that is there. Okay, there is a
Okay,
portrait that a painter draws of a man.
okay,
Okay, so
okay.
and that portrait, onto the portrait, like picture is like what? It is evergreen, right? It does not get old. When you're young, you have portrait. So it is about that portrait and how beautiful it looks when it is at that stage. But you age by time, you get
Right, right,
wrinkles.
right.
So
Yes,
uh,
absolutely.
so in which it talks about, because Oscar Wilde normally believed on the outer beauty of life. He
Right,
never
right.
he always personified that. While Rumi, he talks about the inner beauty, and he
The
keeps on
inner
saying that,
self.
yeah,
Right,
you have
right.
to keep breaking till the time light does not enter, right? Something of that sort.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
there is a
yes.
vast contrast into both of their thoughts that is there. But if you read Oscar Wilde, I mean, he is cheesy, he's cocky, and his one-liners are amazing. So, I mean, I always would suggest to people, to young folks, whoever are reading, read classics and read the modern literature. Like if you want to read,
Literature,
yeah,
contemporary, maybe.
contemporary, like Sadhana by Rabindranath Tagore is also very beautiful, right? So I
Okay.
mean, with from me, you'll only get the old kind of things that is there, because I don't read much about what is the new thing. I've always read back, like If you talk about stories, I like Sadat Hasan Monto a lot. His stories are fabulous, fabulous. I mean, it gives you goosebumps when you read it. So it's amazing. So read beautiful books so that you have good
Distinct. Yes,
thoughts.
absolutely. Yes, that is, I think that should be the objective, to not only to kill your time, but also to gain something out of it.
Right.
So yes, absolutely. And I had some more question which came to my mind, but now I have forgotten. I'm sorry. So, so I want to thank you, and I want to let you know that this your book is available on our online bookstore. Um, can we be lucky? Oh, okay. I just remembered. Somebody had asked if you are married.
No, no, I'm single.
He's single and he's available, so like you can contact whoever has asked me. So, can we be lucky enough to see his bookshelf? Just a quick look.
Sure. Let me know if you can see. There are not many books, but let me know if you can see it. Are you able to see?
Can you see, Kavya, please? That's not a bookshelf. That is like we
All the
have
books.
kept them on,
Yes,
yeah,
all the books are there. This
like,
is short stories.
yes, absolutely.
This is
You have
Gideon.
to, yes, you have to take a little niche, the camera. Yes. So, yes, we can see your books. And so, as I was mentioning, I'm a very particular businesswoman rather. So, our online bookstore is mysecretbookshelf.co.in, and we have your book. We have listed your book as well, and
Thank you.
and we are receiving a lot of orders, but due to the lockdown, we are unable to ship out anything. So as soon as the lockdown is lifted, we will be shipping out, and we are. I'm hoping that we will get more and more of orders.
Sure.
And that's it. And
Yeah.
thank you so much, Krishna, for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. And it's so much. It's great to see you. Actually, like it's been so many months. We did not even catch up last, like
Yeah, it's
starting
been a while.
March, right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's great to see you again, and
Thank you.
we'll keep in touch. And once you are you are ready to take a break from your writing, let me know. We will do another online session,
Sure.
and hopefully we'll have more questions and more audience that time. So
Sure,
thank you so
absolutely.
much,
Thank you.
and
You
take
have a good day.
care.
Yeah.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So, guys, I'll show you once again. This is the book, and the cover is really pretty. Like, I don't know why I'm talking about the cover, but I think it's very important. So, it has a texture when you touch it. So, it's Krishna has given so much of thought into like each and every aspect of the book publishing. So, right from the cover, right from the selection of the pages, even the font is readable. Like it's not a small font; it's very comfortable font. Can be read like and can be read easily. There are like as I mentioned, he has involved poetry in such a fluid manner that the prose flows into poetry. So it's a very wonderful book, and I really think that you should give it a read. And this book is available on our online bookstore, which is mysecretbookshelf.co.in. So I am going to patch up with Nayanika again, and we are going to go back to our game. Nanika had asked you to share a romance book, a name of a romance book that you have read. So if you have read anything and you want to participate at this game, then leave your answer on the comment so that we can select the winner. I'm waiting for Nanika to join us, and I'm going to say hi to everyone who has joined. Niharika Roy, hi. Astha Mittal, Suresh, Patali. Hi, hi. Thank you so much for joining us. And hi, welcome back.
Hello.
Hi. So we have a little bit of time left, and let's quickly wrap up the game that we you had initiated, a romance book by Indian author,
Yes.
and I'm yet to receive a answer. If anyone wants to answer, you need to let us know a romance book that you have read, a romance story from an Indian author. Leave a comment, and you will receive a discount
Discount.
coupon which you can use to purchase books on our online bookstore. Our online bookstore is www.mysecretbookshelf.co.in. Do visit our bookstore. It has got lovely exclusive handpicked books. So do visit that. Keep your choices ready so that as soon as the lockdown is lifted up, you can make your purchase, right? So yes, Nayanika, are you back?
Yes.
Did you hear what Krishna has seen? Isn't he very clear about what he is trying to do? He's writing. He's so much committed, and as I had mentioned, so there are poems,
I really
and
liked it
I
when he recited one.
right, and I asked him that people like I think there is someone who is Musafir Cafe by Divya Prakash Dubey. That's Sandeep. Hi, Sandeep. So Sandeep is my recent romance read. Sandeep is also a writer, and he has answered your question, Nanika.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone else? Is there anyone else who want to answer? So Sandeep, you will receive a coupon. I think you will receive a discount coupon and which you can use to make purchases on our online bookstore. But apart from Sandeep, is there anyone else who wants to answer? This is the time. We are actually running out of time. Our live stream timing is only 1 hour, and we
Mm-hmm.
have only a few seconds left. So you want to quickly wrap up today's time, today's session. We discuss about two books.
Yes, absolutely. Firstly,
The
I
pink,
discussed about the pink
yes,
hardcover, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and Antara
wow.
discussed about.
A Drop of You by Krishna Chhetri. And I think that's it for today. We we spoke a lot. I spoke a lot. Nanika just nodded today. She is a bit sleepy head today, but then it was fun. Yes, of course. Visit Musafir Cafe with that coupon. Yes, but then you need to purchase books from our online bookstore. And that is Sandeep. And then Krishna was super, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
we
really like the
discussed
way
so many
he is.
things.
He's very eloquent with his words. It's very nice to hear
Right,
him.
exactly. And he is very well read, and he always shares his recommendations. Like whenever we have met, like my team has met, my Delhi team has met him. So he has always shared his recommendations. So it was a great
Mm-hmm.
meet. And I really hope that my friends and your friends who have watched us today
Absolutely.
have enjoyed us. We have the countdown has started. We have only 10 seconds left. So bye guys. Thank you for joining us. Next Sunday we'll be again talking about
Back.
more books, and we'll have more guests with us. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care. Bye, Nanika.
Bye bye.